Hello and welcome back, everybody. My name is Rody. I'm going to give you a book summary of the book that I have over here, which is Good to Great from Jim Collins. And I have a personal story with this book, and I'm going to tell you this first in this video, how I got this book. And recently I got into a management position, so where I have to hire my workers, and we have to make a team of approximately 20 people. So I picked up this book, which I read 10 years ago, and I thought it would be a good idea to go back to the points that I wrote down back in the years. So when I started my entrepreneur journey 10 years ago, I got into contact with a high-level entrepreneur, like really high level. He was earning millions, and I got the pleasure to meet him and have a coffee. But I was young. I just started entrepreneurship. I had no idea what I was doing. So he took 15 minutes of his time, and it was hard to get the appointment that in the first place. I met him at a birthday party of, he was friends with a father of a friend of mine. So that was how I got into contact with him, and there we arranged the meeting. So I came up to his office, took 15 minutes for me, and then he basically destroyed my ideas when I came into his office. So he was the type, he was a real leader, he was a real entrepreneur, and he told me basically why and what would not work about my ideas and the steps I was taking. So it was the brutal truth that he told me to my face, which hurt it at the time. I was a little bit devastated, but he said, before you go, take this book. So what he had in his office, and like there were working 200 people there, and there was an aula, a launch where 40 of these books were laying around. So this was like their core book of their company. It was part of the application progress that you had to read this book before you were going to work. So there's 7 points which I want to discuss, which are coming back in this book. So that's my story with it. And now I use it because I hire people as well. So I took it back and I got some great ideas from it. So we got 7 ideas which we are going to discuss, which is number 1, level 5 leadership. Great companies are led by humble, determined leaders who prioritize their organization's success over personal recognition, blending modesty with fierce resolve. So what does that mean? I believe that leaders are on the floor. So in the company that I work for, I always have lunch with the workers. I trying to do also the work that the workers do. So they see me, they can talk to me, and they can connect to me. And what we see is that we see an increase in productivity, which is great. Point number 2. First who, then what. This is important for hiring. So this is also what I do at the moment. So I hire people and I fire people based on who they are, not at what they do. Successful companies focus on getting the right people on the team before defining strategy, ensuring a culture of discipline and talent. So if the goal is to build a team, you don't want people who act too individual. So you want to make the company success, not a individual success. And that is basically the core of a company. You need to be able to collaborate with other people in order to make the company successful. Point number 3, the brutal facts. Great companies face reality head on, making decisions based on data and truth while maintaining unwavering faith in their ability to succeed. What does that mean? It means looking at the numbers, not at your feelings. So a week ago, I fired somebody based on data. He had 62 shifts, and he was 31 times he was too late. So I said, dude, I like you, but you were too late 31 times, so I cannot help you. Those are the facts and not the feelings. Point number 4, the Hedgehog Concept. Companies achieve greatness by focusing on what they they can be best at, what drives their economic engine, and what are they passionate about, simplifying the strategy. So I interpret this in two ways. So it's basically selling what you're good at. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're just starting off, your service or your product, just sell one thing that you're good at. But on the other hand, where you're working with people, you must let them do the things that they're good at. And this has to do with coaching. So as a leader, as a manager or a director, you have to look at what people are good at and let them do these specific things so they can deliver you the best results. Often what people do is that they put people with huge responsibilities in a company, so they take different departments, and but that's, if this person falls away, the company quality goes down. So it's less dependent on people. You want to figure out what their qualities are and then use those qualities specifically for specific tasks, so they have a small domain that they're exceptional in. Point number 5, a culture of discipline. Since sustained success comes from disciplined people, thought and action, and avoiding bureaucracy and maintaining focus on the core goals. So everybody in the company needs to know what is important for the company. So for example, our company is trying to cut costs in the last quarter of 2025. So that is the goal. So the whole team needs to collaborate on that goal, and I have to tell them, this is the goal, this is what's coming from the director, this is where we have to work together to make this happen, because eventually this will be better for all of us. Point number 6, technology accelerators. Great companies use technology strategically to enhance their hedgehog concept, not as a primary driver of transformation. Depending in which niche you are, this can be relevant, but how I can interpret this for the company that I'm working for, I like that the machines and the technology and the software that we're using is up to date, and that we have the best software, machines, and technology in-house, so we don't have to put too much attention and too much energy into this concept. You want to have the best of the best in order to be the best in the market. The last part, point number 7, the flywheel effect. Transformation is a gradual, consistent process, like pushing a flywheel, where small cumulative efforts build momentum over time. So if people are doing the good things over and over again, then eventually it sort of goes without effort. So you can see this as a rocket that is going to fly off, and the beginning of the launch is where the most fuel is used, and this is where we have to do great preparation, we have to do the discipline. But if we do all the good things over and over again, eventually it just flies by its own, because the habits, the structures, the systems are in place and everybody knows what to do. This is what you need to learn as an entrepreneur, as a manager, to deliver great results for a company or your own company. I hope this video informed you about like management or specific tasks, or if you just wanted a great video, just give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This was the book, Jim Collins, Good to Great. Great book to read. So I'll see you guys next time.